Hi Flosstube! Welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda Mae and this is my channel Ardith Design, where we celebrate all things count and cross stitch, sustainable stitching, and making all the things. Today is March 31st, 2020, and tomorrow is April Fool's Day, April 1st. I'm excited to be here today. I have my projects to show you. I've worked on a couple things. I have some FFOs to show, and I want to talk about some of my Save the Stitches and a little bit of quilting, all the things. So let's get started. I am so happy to be here. I am proud to say that I participated in the Be Well and Stitch that Cecilia of Heart and Hand started with Keepsakes, and a lot of designers started participating, and I jumped on board. So the first pattern I did was the Compassion Mantra before Be Well and Stitch came out. And I was really happy to provide that pattern to stitch. And then as soon as I saw the Be Well and Stitch, I knew, having made my Boo Bees apiary pattern from last year, or as many of you know, my award-winning boobies from the first place of Maryland State Fair. So I decided to go ahead and make spring boobies. And the boo is the ghost, and then the bees with their little pumpkin heads, and the tulips and the daffodil flowers. I finished it with a rainbow of embellishments. I have rickrack, velvet ribbon, I have like twine, all the different things. I finished it on a cardboard roll reminiscent of a toilet paper roll. It is actually from a paper towel, and I cut it to size to fit this. This is stitched on a 28 count Irish linen, and it was from Charles Craft, and Charles Craft got bought out or purchased by DMC. And they are no longer making this product that I found. However, they are making some of the 28 even weaves and some other fabrics. So this was an older piece of linen, but I'm sure you could find some beautiful linens out. You know, there's so many beautiful things. And I literally had this strip. So this is the width, and it looked to me like a toilet paper roll. And I want to be very clear that my intention was not to be flippant or to make fun of the toilet paper situation that is happening in the United States. I just found it serendipitous that the current events, my piece of fabric, everything kind of coalesced came together, where I thought it would be fun to do an unconventional cross stitch finish given the materials that I have on hand, because I cannot leave my property. So that is why I finished it like this. I used these decorative little pins that I made a couple years ago, and I attached them. Now, just to show you though, this could be a really fun little bell pull. You don't have to do it on a cardboard roll. So again, I have my little push pin counting pins, the cardboard roll, and it's long. I left the fabric long enough where it could do the wrap, and then I'm gonna hold it back here so maybe it looks better from far away. You won't see my messy seams. I had just a piece of quilting fabric. Then this was a Pellon that I put a Pellon 987F and then a Pellon 44F. I will have them linked below. And then I used this like yellow ribbon. If you watched my first ever stitch with me, well, it wasn't really a stitch with me, it was a fully finished with me, but that sounded naughty. I didn't know how to title my piece because anyway, I digress. So I finished this live, you know, with no edits. So if you want to watch last week's video, I'll have that linked below where I show all of my processes of thinking about how to finish it. And yes, I had a mistake at the bottom with my stitching that, you know what, I am going to show you. Full disclosure. So I have, as you can see, my wonky, I made a mistake, but I covered it with a rainbow of happiness. So here is my bell pull, and I thought it would be fun to hang it up here for the video, but I wanted to show it first. Like I said, I had a lot of fun creating it. It's the second in my booby series. I've decided that it will be a series, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So stay tuned for some other goodies coming. I also am thinking about the third in my series for my sweets series. I have the Banana Pants Purdy and then the Saltwater Taffy Terry, and they're kitty cats. And so I'm thinking about what else to do. And no, I won't do a Tiger King, I promise, Netflix. But I have some ideas of some good and fun little kitty cat stuff to do. Oh, that's fun, right? Well, I need to hang it up a little higher so you can see that. On the topic of rainbows, I did want to show you, I have another little finish. It is a quilting finish. Well, it's not fully finished, but I wanted to make a little rainbow. And I am happy to report that I made my first ever quilt rainbow. This pattern came from Crafter Hours. I will have it linked below. She has the giant mini quilt, which is this one, and then the mini giant quilt, or she has the large version and the smaller version. And these are, I picked out all my fabrics that I already had in my stash, except for this blue fabric. My husband actually went to the Super Walmart to get groceries last week, and the craft section was open because the grocery store is essential, and the craft section happened to be open. They don't have it last week it wasn't barricaded off. So he did pick up this piece, and I love it. I thought it was really fun, and I was supposed to only make 5 of these triangles, but I had so much fun making them, I made more. So I wasn't sure about making more rainbows or what to do. But I love rainbows. I always have. I love it. When someone says, what's your favorite color? I always want to say my favorite color is rainbows. So, in my Save the Stitches, one of my pieces I have is this Love, that is long stitching needlepoint that I got, that I just love. That's got the rainbows. And then fitting for this time, this one, I've got to fix the frame. I thought maybe I'll paint it like the blue color, Be Happy. And then my other piece, Save the Stitches, that I thought would be very fun for the occasion to show is this one. I journeyed to the rainbow's end and found not gold, but you, my friend. And so I have this one out. I did not stitch this. This is on a 14 count Aida, and I got it at Goodwill a couple years ago, and I just think it's so lovely, and just the rainbows make me happy. And we can all use some joy and happiness and rainbows and all the things. I wanted to show you from my boobies bell pull, my spring boobies, excuse me. My color palette, in case you didn't see my video from last week, was all of these pretties. And I used these, I braided these 3 colors, Jack-o'-lantern, Lime Sorbet, and Sunflower, because I did another project with those colors. But so those colors, and then these are the other ones that I used. Egg Yolk, Bermuda, Buttermints, which is really pretty. This one is what I used for the ghost, and he didn't show up very well on that white fabric, so I did all the back stitching. But if you were to stitch this on a darker fabric, you might not need the back stitching for the ghost at all, except for the face. I also used this Harvest Wheat for the basket, and the purple is, oh, it's so pretty, Purple Rain. The almost black is called Midnight, and that I used for the back stitching and the eyes and stuff. And then Fiesta is the pink. So I have decided that my favorite so far to stitch with is the orange, which is Jack-o'-lantern, that the face is, and then the pink Fiesta, because stitching is like a party, and I love it. I love stitching parties. So these are the colors. They're coloring cotton. I know Angela has her own website, but you can also purchase coloring cotton from your local needlework shop. I know Keepsakes and Threads Entwined both carry the threads, so you can always inquire with them or call your LNS because they need love too. Spread the love if you can. All right, so those 3 colors I was showing you is for a project I'm doing for Facebook Live for Just Cross Stitch. Just Cross Stitch magazine is a branch of Annie's Publishing, and let me rewind. I am doing a project, Facebook Live, Wednesday, April 1st, so you'll be seeing this video maybe the same day as my live. Anyway, so I stitched this up ahead of time to show. This is my own design. It's a daffodil flower. This is on like a blue mist 14 count Aida, and it's using those 3 colors. The sunflower yellow, so that you see the center, and then the petals, the center of the flower that bordering those colonial knots, the orange jack-o'-lantern, and then the green is the lime sorbet. And it's on that light blue. And on the Facebook Live, I'm going to show you how to make colonial knots. I know several people had said that they're afraid of colonial knots. I had in my book, Stitching Love and Kindness, I have an entire pattern just using colonial knots, and I know that scares people, and I don't want you to be afraid of colonial knots. They are so much fun, and I hope that if you don't know how to do them, that you watch the video and see how I do them, and maybe that will help you in some small way. I will say you will need a hoop or a Q-snap or something to help you. So for a person that stitches in hand, you know, pulling out the hoop, it's different for me. All right, so those are a couple of the projects that I've been working on, and the clouds are starting to roll in here in Maryland, so I don't know if we're gonna get rained on here, so I'm just gonna keep talking and we're gonna hope for the best. In my Christmas bag that I stitched up using my leftover and thrift store fabrics, learning how to make project bags, I worked on my Hot House Petunia designs, and yes, that is a flamingo riding a lemon bicycle, and so I've been working on that. This is on a piece of 14 count Aida. Oh my gosh, so I bought a pack of 200 or 250 of these Wonder Clips, and I have been literally going around all my projects and grabbing the clips so that I would have more on hand. This is how desperate I was, y'all. I used one of my husband's old tie clips that I have to repair. I literally used a tie clip to hold my fabric because I could not find my Wonder Clip. I know, desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm not using the over dyed that this pattern calls for. She also charted it for DMC, so I'm using the DMC conversion for the flamingo, and I love it. And look at that bicycle. Oh, and I'm so excited to report. And you can't see it right now. I'm sorry, the sky is turning black as we speak. The bicycle, I decided to try. Let me find it. Where'd I put it? Okay. It is a satin. It is DMC satin thread. It's S995, and it's like a dark blue turquoise color. I got this at one of the big box stores during their deal buster, door buster sale where they have the DMC is so low they can't advertise the price. Well, on the thing it said excludes, and it said excludes all the things that it excludes: pearl cotton, the variegated, the this, that, the other. It said nothing about excluding the satin. 45 minutes later, they honored the sale price on the satin DMC. So I bought all the colors of the satin that they had at the store, and this was my first time trying it. It is very slick. So I had a hard time ending my thread. I was pulling it through in the back, and then it would just come right undone. So if anybody has any suggestions for using the very, very slick satin DMC, I would love suggestions. It's my first time, and what I love about it though, the satin makes the bike look like it's that shiny metal that you would have on a bicycle or on a vehicle that has that kind of shiny paint finish. So I've been having fun. I'm using 2 strands of Sulky. The yellow is the Sulky 12 weight, and I'm using 2 strands, and I'm doing that because this is on a 14 count. And then for the pinks, I'm using 3 strands of regular DMC and then 2 strands of the DMC satin for the bicycle. Whew, I'm learning. Okay, so that was, again, Hot House Petunia Designs. I'm just picking my colors as I go because I don't have any of the called for. And that I got this at, it was a market pattern that I got from Julie of Gulf Coast Stitches. And I think it's really fun. So those are that's another project that I've been working on this week, because who doesn't need a lemon bicycle flamingo in their lives? And continuing with the bird theme, Barbara Anna, oh my gosh, y'all know she's like one of my favorite designers, right? Oh, and fun fact, I found out where Barbara Anna is from. The hashtag where in the world is Barbara Anna? She lives in Spain. So I learned that she is living in Spain. So for anybody wondering where she's located, she is doing a lot of her design work and collaborating with a Russian needlework shop. I know nothing about it other than the beautiful things that Michelle Garrett has shown when she receives the Barbara Anna kits in the mail. But this gorgeous thing is called The Key. It's a free pattern that she released. I saw it on Instagram last week. I ran, not walked, I ran as fast as I could to my printer to print this out and immediately start this pattern. Oh my goodness. Here we go. This is on a silk weaver and it's beautiful. It's a blue, and I got this in my gift packet for the 2019 Just Cross Stitch Ornament Contest. For winning, I got the prize pack, and this fabric from Silk Weaver was included, and I think it's a beautiful fabric. I really enjoy it. I have never used Silk Weaver before, so this was fun to use, and I am just pulling colors as I go. I had some of the colors, like the 783 and the black, or the turquoise color, because I did one of her mermaids last year, and she uses very similar, her color palette is, you can, not only can you look at a Barbara Anna design and go, that's a Barbara Anna, you can look at it and the color palette is pretty ubiquitous across her designs. So if you have her base colors from one design, you can probably keep it together on your floss ring and have the majority of colors for her next design, which I really like and appreciate. I did not have all of her colors, so I pulled some sulky, and then the bird, it is the Victorian motto, and that is parchment. And then I have a color in cotton, it's called Amber Waves, and that was from the patriotic box from last year. So I pulled that color, yeah, from her patriotic box, the Amber Waves, which is really lovely. I'm really happy with that. And then her cheeks, I tried the Adobe, which is gorgeous, gorgeous. I just tried a couple of, I've only used that color on her cheeks, and I love the variegation, and I think I am going to be working on a couple of designs. As y'all know, I love bright, but I also love and appreciate the more subtle palettes that like Blackbird Designs uses, and like Willow Hill Samplings, Hello from Liz Matthews, that more prim or subtle subdued palette. So I am going to try, I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'm going to try to step out of my bright comfort zone and see about doing more, a couple primsicle. I like to think of myself as primsicle, whimsical and primsicle, and see what happens. So here is the progress that I have made so far. I got to get down to these fun skirt things and those tiny little feet. I have one of these finished. I got to get the other one done. She's holding the key. But wait, there's more. Barbara Anna, I'm over here gushing over her, fangirl. She released a second free pattern, and it is called The Light, or Light. And look at that fox holding that lantern. When I saw that, my first thought was, oh my gosh, Steph from Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching. She just finished one of her fox designs. So I thought of her and fox. And then that lantern, I saw that and I thought of Amy from Amy Loves Toads, because her husband, she said on one of her Flosstube videos, collects those lanterns. And so when I saw that lantern, I immediately thought of Amy. And fun thing, I have one of those lanterns that I got as a gift from my father-in-law from his grandfather, who was a lead miner in Wisconsin and had one of those lanterns that they took down to the lead mines when they mined for lead. I love history. So I have not started this little fox. It is so beautiful though. I love it. And there's like a tiny little scene down here with the buildings. There's a lantern, and then I love this border. So I want to start this one immediately. I did one of her mermaids. The one that riding the flamingo, I don't have, but I know it's available on Creative Poppy to purchase. So I might just get that one too. I will be, full disclosure everyone, I'm having a really hard time finishing my own work right now. I have 3 models in my bag right here that I literally need to just fully finish and get my patterns ready and put them up. And with everything going on right now, I'm having a really hard time working on my own projects. And so I really appreciate the other designers for all of your work and the work that you've put out. I really and truly appreciate it. I know some designers don't stitch other people's work. They focus on their own work. They say they're too busy and they don't stitch anybody else's designs. First and foremost, I love cross stitch. I have said it before and I will say it again. Cross stitch genuinely changed my life. And I love stitching other designs. I love collecting cross stitch and I love designing it with the deep appreciation for those that purchase and stitch my designs. Thank you so much. So again, full disclosure, I'm having a hard time finishing my own work. But the design, what's it called? Inspiration. The spark of inspiration came. I got this pattern in my market haul. And yes, this is not from Market, but when I purchased from Threads Entwined, I added this to my cart because I had been wanting it for a long time. It is Birds of a Feather, and this is from, I think, like 2005. Remember Me. It might be older than that. I'm looking for the date. I'm sorry. Anyway, what I love about this design, it's Halloween. What I love is this frame. And I know Teresa Vinette of Shakespeare's Peddler, she talked about this frame company before, and so I started looking for them. The frame is called Hog River, Hog, H-O-G, River Frames, and they no longer are in business. They don't make frames anymore, but I absolutely love this frame. It's got kind of a house peak, and it's got the folk art painting of the moon and stars, and I love it. So I cut some wood, and yes, it's rough. I have not sanded it. I haven't done anything, but I cut some wood with the intention of making my own frame to fully finish one of my designs, and hoping, crossing fingers that I do it well, that I can finish another couple of my items in a Hog River inspired frame. I went all through Instagram looking for Hog River, and I found 2 frame posts by Pat Ryan of R&R Reproductions. She had some of her finished pieces that she uploaded to Pinterest that I found and pinned myself. Anyway, long story short, I love Hog River frames, and I have never seen one in person. I don't know what the backing is like and how they secure it and if it's acid free. I don't know any of those things, but I have cut some wood and I'm gonna see about making my own frame, because as you all know, if you have been with me for any length of time here on Flosstube, I am hashtag make all the things. So this was, again, one of the things that I got from Market. I didn't get a chance to show you, but I did pick up some other Market things. This was, so I put in my order right before I'd had surgery, because I had surgery on March 3rd. Thank you all for your well wishes. Yes, I do feel so much better. So this was nice and happy to get. I did get the Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street, and I love it. That house and that, oh, everything about that. I don't have any of the called for threads, so I do need to order those, but maybe hopefully I can start sooner rather than later. And then this is Bendy Stitchy and the Blue Flower collaboration, and they had me at the Fox, at the Ship, and with the donuts. Hello. I don't know if I'm gonna stitch both of these, the top and the bottom, or if I'm just gonna stitch the Viking Ship. But I also looked, because I don't have enough projects in my life, making a boat and then having the sails, the triangle sails, but have that be the linen, and having a sail be the motifs. I don't know. Wishful thinking. We'll see what happens. I love that design. I also got the tomato from the Scarlet House, this sweet, plump tomato ripening on the vine. One day soon, you are going to be mine. Yes, please. I don't know, however, if I am going to stitch the words or just do that motif there. I think I might just do that motif. And it's charted with only 3 colors, and I don't have any of them. 5 colors, 3 colors, 5 colors. Math. 5 colors, so under 10 colors, and I don't have any of them. I know, shame on me. And the belle of the ball, you know it, you probably love it. I did get Sewing Club. They had me at Hollyhocks. Julie of Gulf Coast Stitches was doing the room tour live before we knew that this book, and I saw this Hollyhocks, and I love Hollyhocks, love it. So when I saw that Hollyhocks design, I'm like, I need that. I need that. So I found out that Hollyhocks was in this book, so I had to get the book. I had to. So these were my market purchases. I used birthday money. My mother sent me some money for my birthday because my birthday was just a little over a month ago. So thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it and I love you. I'm not sure if you watch my channel, but thank you. I got a freebie from Annie B's Folk Art in here too. So I have all the things to stitch. I wanted to show you a couple of things. I went through a lot of my magazines that I have. I have a hoard, and I'm not being dramatic. Like, I have I would say the tub probably weighs over 50 pounds of just magazines. And I went through and I started pulling the magazines that I want to keep, the magazines that I want to pass the stash on, all the things. So I wanted to show you a couple of the magazines because it made me think of some of my fellow stitchers. And so here is this one. I thought this was so cute. So it's Meet the Designer, Martha Hinson, and it's her Q Pig. Oh, shoot, I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Q Pig. Isn't that cute? Instead of Cupid. And this is in the February 1995 Make magazine. So that, again, Q Pig. So cute. And then another magazine, this one is the Good Luck Gnome, and I think it's so precious. And I don't know if you all know this, but I love gnomes. And he's holding a sign and it says, "Every home needs a gnome." And it made me think of Brandy Goebel of Bojo Mojo Design Co. and Every Home Needs a Gnome. So I thought of her. And that pattern is in Make magazine from August of 1994. Make magazine. The next pattern is out of Celebrations, and this was a leisure art magazine. And with spring and Easter stitching, this is a spring 1994. I really liked this Earth Day banner. Again, make all the things. And then I thought these were really precious. There's two. This design here, the Irish Blessing, and it says, "May you be in heaven 30 minutes before the devil knows you're dead." And then this one is Springtime Friends. And I thought there's like this one that's like a little chipmunk. And let me see if I can get some better pictures. The bunny. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Let me see if I can get a bigger image, and I don't think I can. No, I can't. I'm sorry. But trust me when I say they're dang cute. So, oh, and for punch needle enthusiasts, I found this out of a magazine, 1984, and it was Crafts Magazine. And it's punch needle irises in a pretty bouquet. And it tells you how to do 3-dimensional punch needle flowers. And I couldn't believe it. So I was reading how to do that. And how it says, peeking out among silk tulips and daffodils, or 3 punch needle irises, as fun to stitch as they are to give away. Yes, please. I'll take some 3-dimensional flowers if anybody would like to send me them. Tied with a ribbon and given to someone special, they'll always be a sentimental reminder of your thoughtfulness. So that was really neat. I would love, I haven't seen punch needle really done in the 3D before, so it seems like a really interesting. And it's by the article is by Gail Bird and Sherry Cohen. And Gail Bird, I think I featured one of her punch needle books before. So that was out of Crafts Magazine, June the 1984 issue. All right, well, I think I've shown you everything. I don't have this piece done that I wanted to have fully finished, the Marjorie Massey piece. But I am debating about finishing it with the palette frame, if I can get my act together and actually make this. We'll see. I would like to have this out for spring. We will see what happens and if I get it done. Question I had, these are all the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop threads. All right. I want to thank you all for joining me this week. I hope that you have a beautiful week of stitching. I hope that you are able to take comfort and joy with every stitch that you make, because remember, you matter, your stitching matters, and I love you. I hope you have a great week, and until next time, take care.